bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Good morning, Zeeblies. Happy... I don't even know what today is. Savannah, do you know what today is? Yes, happy Tuesday, the 29th. It's early. It's like 6 in the morning. And I just finished last irrigation before taking Savannah down. So now we're just waiting for them to come get her. So... hold on. To open the vlog and say good morning, guys. So Savannah is back in the OR. I'm in the waiting room doing some editing. I will update y'all with what all they're doing when she gets out, and I know what they did do. But yeah, just want to update y'all that she is now in the OR. Okay, so you can't sit fully up, but you can sit like up to like 30 degrees. So if you want to raise your head a little bit, you can. But I did get you something while you were asleep.
30 degrees.
What are you doing? Do you want 30? You want me to put you at 30 degrees?
Purple slot now has a pink slot. We'll have to put Velcro on a tan.
I know, I felt for the Velcro, but there wasn't any.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's something else in there. Keep you busy while you're stuck in the bed.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. So how are you feeling? You want to tell them how you're feeling?
My leg, this leg is sore. Like the hip part of it is.
Mm-hmm. Did you know your tube is out?
Mm-hmm. I gagged up my tube.
Yeah.
Whenever I woke up.
So I had to pull it out.
Yeah.
So, yep. How's your pain?
My leg is probably like 5. Like it's
But
but
everything else is okay?
yeah.
Okay.
I can't really feel the tube on my bottom. Yeah, you can feel it like a little bit, but you can't really feel it.
So, while we were downstairs, I haven't even updated them.
Do you want to get the drink?
I don't think so. While we were downstairs, and when Savannah came out of the procedure, she was in a lot of pain. And with that, they thought that she just had really bad, like, I need to use the restroom discomfort. And I kept telling them, I was like, no, this is not her normal self. Like, she's really in pain. because they told me she wasn't supposed to be in pain from the Botox and dilation, but every kid and every person is different, and she was in pain. So that's why she said her bottom's not really hurting her anymore, because it was really hurting her really bad. And so yeah, so I will in a little bit update y'all exactly like what was said. I'm gonna sit here with her since she just woke up, but yeah, that's just where we are. She just woke up. It is like 1:20, so
The tube's small. What's this?
that was the like camera
like a knife.
like probe part.
It looks like
Going
that's
through.
probably what this picture is.
So I think she said this was your throat, like leading into the stomach. That's the opening of the stomach. This spot right here is like where your appendix is, and then if you flip it over, that's the other side of the appendix. That's just more of the colon, and then this is where the electrodes are connected to you.
Do I have any bumps in my throat? Because I know last time they saw some bumps in my throat.
No. I didn't see
That's a good
anything.
thing.
Everything, to the eye, everything looks wonderful.
That's a good thing.
He doesn't even think there's an extra loop anymore.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. He didn't, from the colonoscopy, he couldn't tell there was any extra loop.
That's great.
Yeah. So, all that was good news. They obviously still did the biopsy, so we'll see if,
My stomach doesn't hurt as bad as it did whenever I woke up.
So the strong medication she gave you, she said actually will help with the gas too.
That's good. So
Yeah.
I might be pooping a lot later, but
I don't know.
she also said the doctor is really good at not giving me a lot of gas.
Mhm.
So that's also a good thing.
He just uses the amount that he needs,
Mhm.
and that's it. So yeah. But you're definitely clean.
Yeah.
Definitely no poop.
Yeah.
So, yep, everything looks good. Alrighty, so it is now in the evening. Let me turn the TV down some. Alright, it's in the evening now. They're getting ready to do shift change. So I figured before I get my pajamas on and get settled to watch The Voice, I would kind of update y'all on what they said today. So she was back in the procedure surgery area for about an hour and a half when I met with the doctor. And the doctor said that from his eyes, her colon looked great. There was no concerns. There was no, like, rashes or lumps or anything. Like, it looked really good. So they did do biopsies, which is just part of their protocol with colonoscopies and endoscopies. So they did do that, and we'll be waiting on those to come back. They also put in the manometry electrodes, which that test will be started tomorrow. They have to wait and start it tomorrow because they have to make sure her whole GI tract and intestines is awake from the anesthesia. I'm tired. Sorry, guys. The other thing they did is we did go ahead and do the Botox, and they ended up having to do dilation. We let the doctor make the decision. We talked about it, and we decided we would let the doctor make the decision because he would decide once he got in there. So it wasn't a going into the procedure saying, yes, for sure, we're doing this. He just, as he was looking around, figuring out things, she had some narrowing areas, which is where they did the dilation, and some tense areas, which is where they did the Botox. So it's worth a try, just to see. We've never done it before, so we just decided to let the doctor make that decision. So that's kind of where we are. After she got into recovery, when they came and got me, Savannah was very upset. She was in a lot of pain. She just kept saying that her bottom was hurting, and she was in a lot of pain. She started gagging, which in return, when she was gagging, she gagged up her feeding tube, so I had to pull her feeding tube real fast because it was out of spot. And so I just pulled it real fast. I wasn't even thinking about the nurse at the time when I saw it. I just pulled it before the nurse even said anything. I said, "Oh, her tube is out." She looked, she said, "Yeah, it is." And I pulled it. And I said, "Savannah, I'm pulling your tube. Your tube is out." So, looking back now, probably should have let the nurse do that, but she was gagging so hard. She was so uncomfortable that I just wanted to make her as comfortable as possible. And I knew that getting that tube out would help. So, her tube is not in. We're not even going to worry about putting it in tonight or today or tomorrow because she's getting fluids through her IV. And so, yeah. So now she's been in the bed all day. She can't have anything to eat or drink because they don't want to stimulate her colon until the test. The test is in the morning. It's a 6-hour test, and then they will pull the electrodes out once they're done, and then we get to go home. So we'll get to go home tomorrow, which I'm very happy about. One of the other conversations though that was brought up was the NG feeding tube and the fluids. I don't know if I told you this, or I did tell you, but I don't know if you remember. But long story short, if they decide to do them alone, or even if they don't and we do stick with just irrigation, I need to contact her GI doctor to talk about a more permanent solution for fluids. She's had the NG tube longer than what she's supposed to. Yes, she did have a little bit of a break, and yes, she does not get feeds down it, but the fluids are just as important, and that is what she would need the G tube. It would be a G tube. What she would need the G tube for is her fluids. So I will be contacting her doctor about that to discuss that, because if they do them alone and they do agree on the G tube, they will do both surgeries in one time when she's in the OR, instead of her sending her to the OR twice. So there are some things other things we have to figure out and decide, but she's doing a lot better now. Savannah.
Hi.
She's doing a lot better. She's obviously tired of laying in the bed, and she's hungry and thirsty, but pain-wise, she's doing a whole lot better. They've given her IV Tylenol twice now just to help keep the pain and discomfort at bay. Where they did the dilation and the Botox, she is having some like burning, pinching, feeling sensation, which is normal. So we've just been doing our best to keep her discomfort at bay. But yes, that's where we are. So like I said, tomorrow we'll do the test, and then she'll get to eat halfway through the test, and then we'll get to go home, which I'm very ready to see my babies. So I hope y'all have had a great day. I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. I'm getting quite tired. So I'm going to get my pajamas on and turn on The Voice and watch it. So I hope y'all have had a great day. Good night, guys.